Hey friends, good morning. Old Minnow Boy here. It is 6 a.m. Super excited to be getting out on the water this morning. Finally getting around to doing a regular fishing video that is not Cornwall related, but just got a couple hours to get out here on the water this morning. I'm going to be doing specifically some wacky rigging, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about how I like to wacky rig and what's been successful for me so far this spring. So we'll talk a lot more about that as we go along here, but let's get out on the water and get a couple fish in the boat. Talk about that. That is one thing about wacky rigging. If you're in a lake that has pike, using a fluoro leader, you're gonna get bit off. But that's just kind of the nature of the beast, the name of the game. It's gonna happen. I really think that it does make a difference to have a fluoro leader. If you're tying your wacky hook straight to braid, I don't think you're gonna get as many bites. So just something you kind of have to deal with. So. Got the sunrise about to kick up here. It's gonna be a gorgeous sunrise. My foot control quit working on my trolling motor. There's a fish. The drag is too loose. All right, nice bass. First one of the morning. Oh, he came off. I tried to swat a mosquito and I let the pressure off, and that was all it took, and he slipped away. All right, we're 0 for 2. Lost a bass, missed a pike. I fish this lake a lot. I've lived here for, this will be the 3rd summer here, so super convenient when you're right on the lake to get out a lot, and I'm certainly no expert, but beginning to learn it fairly well. And there are quite a few spots, especially this time of year, that are very predictable. And you can just almost guarantee that there's going to be a fish laying in certain spots, and you can also almost guarantee that they will pick up the wacky rig. It is absolutely my go-to confidence bait when I just want to catch fish, and it's fun. So there should be a fish laying right here by these lily pads. There it is. Oh, that may have been a panfish. We'll talk. No, there he is. I got him. Just a little guy, but that's a fun one. Knew he was going to be there. Flipper. There we go. Alright, first bass of the morning. Lost my senko, but that's to be expected. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's where the hook ends up. Right in the top of the mouth. Alright, there he is, guys. This is super cookie cutter, about a 14-incher, probably just under a pound, but super fun to catch. Get a quick video of this guy. And I think my goal this morning, the goal is going to be 10 fish. So I want to try to put 10 fish in the boat, all on the wacky rig. And as we go along, we'll talk about the different aspects of the wacky rig, what I like to do, what works and what I find to not work. So yeah, we'll have some fun with it. And we're killing mosquitoes. There's the sun coming up, looking gorgeous. What I generally find And again, I would say generally, generally speaking, I probably get 75 to 80% of my bites on the Wacky Rig. I would say within 5 to 10 seconds of the worm hitting the water. If there's a bass in the area within, say 10, 15 feet of where your senko lands, they're going to be racing over. If they're hungry and they're going to eat it, they're going to be racing over and they're going to pick it up. Usually in just a couple seconds. Now that's not to say that I give up on my cast after the first 10 seconds. Not by any stretch, but a high percentage of fish are going to come and grab it pretty quickly. These bugs are atrocious. Look at those mosquitoes. They're just covering my legs. I don't know if it's even worth it to try to kill them. Yeah, let's make one over here. There we go, fish. Got him. Little guy. Might be a rock bass. Yep. You will get rock bass on the Wacky Rig. So if you ever think or feel like a 5-inch senko is too big for anything, check that out. Rock bass on the 5-inch senko. I don't know how they think that they could ever eat that. But you will get these little guys from time to time on a Wacky Rig senko. Get that popped out. Just a little dude, about a 7-8 incher. We didn't lose our senko, so that's good. Oh, immediately. Wow! That fish picked it up immediately. The second that that worm hit the water, he grabbed it. Aggressive. Just can't resist the Wacky Rig. Flip this guy. Oh, there we go. Number 3. Perfect cookie cutter bass right there. There we go, guys. About a 15 incher, probably a little over a pound. Nice fish. So what you'll get on this Wacky Rig is your worm will very often slide up on the line. So just poke it back down under the hook, and if your connection there is getting super loose, if your worm is starting to rip, just pull it out and go ahead and rehook it. Maybe just rotate your senko a quarter turn and rehook it through kind of fresh meat there to just secure it a little better so it might not fall off on your next hook set or next fish. Oh, there we go, fish. Got him. And that was in the middle of that cast, right after I talked about a lot of fish. Coming right at the beginning. There you go, buddy. Another cookie cutter, 15-inch, 1-pound bass. But these are super fun to catch. And there's that hook right in the top of the mouth, which is really what you want. Easy to get that hook out. Just an easy pop out. There he is. Another 15-incher. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Wacky Rig, getting it done this morning. It's gonna be a hot one today. Sun is coming up. It's just about 60 degrees this morning, but it's supposed to get up to 90. There we go, fish. Oh, lost him. Did not get the hook set on that one. Oh, I'm not sure if it's a pike that bit me off or... Oh boy, we got a problem here. Do not want this to tie into a knot. Maybe should have given that one just a second more. I think I still have my hook. Yep, got the hook but lost the senko. There we go, fish. Got him. Thought there would be another one over there. This one feels a little bit better. We might have to net this one and not risk the flip. Oh yeah, that's a healthy fish. That's a healthy fish. We're gonna net. Oh, he just spit up a bluegill. That was cool. All right, there we go. Good belly on that one. Good belly on that one. I think he may, yeah, he's got a bluegill in his belly. And he spit one up just as I was getting him. There we go. That one's getting a little closer to 2 pounds there. Nice, healthy fish. I like it. All right, guys, just going to talk about kind of my go-to for wacky rigging. This would be a medium fast action rod, simple spinning reel. You don't have to get fancy. I'm just using a lose combo here. Nothing crazy expensive, but I really like this setup. I've got 20-pound braid, and then I'm running a 10-pound fluoro leader. And as I mentioned before, that fluoro leader, really important. You don't want to go braid straight to your hook. Fish are going to see that. Those bass can see in the water. They're not going to pick up. You're not going to get nearly as many bites. I'm not going to say that you couldn't get any, but you do want that 8 or 10 pound fluoro leader. It's going to give some stretch so that when you set the hook, you're not ripping hooks out of a fish's mouth. Again, the only downside to that fluoro, as we saw right at the beginning this morning, if you're in a body of water that has pike, you're going to get bit off from time to time because pike will absolutely grab this. So yeah, that's the setup. Medium fast rod, spinning reel, braid to fluoro. And yeah, we'll talk about hooks here in a little bit. Let's get a couple more fish. All right, these lily pads here are looking for cover like this. There will absolutely be a bass laying up here. So it is the week after Memorial Day, so bass season just opened here in Michigan. And not quite topwater time yet. It's still just a little bit early. I am seeing a little bit of topwater activity, but nothing like we'll see here in another couple weeks. We're gonna have some really warm temperatures, consistent 80-degree days, even up to 90. That's gonna warm the water up significantly, and those bass are gonna get way more active. And we'll be throwing the rattle rat here pretty shortly, but I've thrown the topwater a little bit the last couple days, the last week or so, and caught a couple fish, but definitely not the go-to yet. It's still just a little bit early. We need the water temperature to come up another 5, 6, maybe even 7 degrees, and then that topwater bite should really pick up. But for now, want to get below the surface, and again, Wacky Rig, absolutely my go-to. Coming in for a landing. That's a good sized flock. Oop, fish. Oh, that was funny. Oh, he spit it out. That was cool. I was over trying to get a shot of the geese landing. And got a bite. So I did not have a good hook set on that one at all, obviously. I was facing the wrong way. There we go. Fish. Got him. Flipper. Oh. All right. Another 1 pounder. Nothing wrong with that. Fun catch. I believe that's fish number 5. Yeah, so here's a good example. I don't know how well you can see that, but that worm is getting pretty chewed up, so I got a pretty loose connection there. So I'm just gonna unhook that, maybe move down just a hair and rehook it. You want to be close to the center so that it has a pretty even hang on both sides, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So make sure you got a good hook through there. Let's see if there's another one. I feel like there's going to be one more on these lily pads. So we'll talk just a little bit about some technique here. I like to throw, and then you want to keep your rod tip up. And with your rod tip up in the air, you can keep pretty good contact and you can feel the weight of that senko, even though we're throwing weightless. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But you want to be able to feel that weight, because that's where, there we go, right there. Oh, that's a bluegill. You will absolutely get bluegill, panfish. We caught the rock bass earlier. Sometimes you'll feel them tapping it. But again, if you keep that rod tip up in the air, you don't want to have tight tension on your line, but just enough so that you can feel that, because a bass is they're gonna grab it, and a lot of times you'll just feel a really light tap, 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 and then you'll see your line move. There we go, right there. There we go. Line's moving. Set the hook. Got him. Oh, he just popped off. But that is one of the things that is just super fun about the Wacky Rig. It's the combination of the visual, you're watching your line, you're also feeling it through the rod. You'll feel that little just tap, tap, tap. And then usually wait a second, maybe 2-3 seconds, give them a chance to move with it and maybe suck it in a second time. And then set the hook. So you don't want to set the hook immediately when you feel that tap. There's no need to be in a hurry. When you feel that tap, 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 wait 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 seconds. Let them take it and then give them the beans. Should not have missed that one right there. That was unfortunate. But again, rod tip up. You don't want to have a bunch of line laying slack in the water. Get your line up out of the water so that you can see where your line is entering the water, because again, a lot of it is visual. Sometimes you won't even feel that tap, tap, tap. You won't feel anything. You'll just literally see your line start to move off to the side, to the left or right. Sometimes it'll be coming right back straight towards you. But again, having that visual, paying attention to your line, and keeping it up out of the water. You don't want to have a bunch of slack in your line. Keep that just enough tension so that you've got your line up off the surface of the water. You can see directly where the line is going down, and you'll be able to see when those fish pick it up. Let's see if we can get another bite here. So one other thing that I like to do, just as far as making that senko dance a little bit, again, rod tip up, and I'll let it sink, reel a little bit, and then just kind of tap, tap, tap. I don't know if you can see that on my rod tip, but just a little subtle. And what that does, it makes both ends of that senko, they just kind of flap. They'll vibrate and kind of flap back and forth in the water, and man, the bass just cannot resist that. All right, we're gonna move over here a little bit. So while we're moving, just gonna talk about the weightless. I really like to throw the Wacky Rig weightless. So I've got no split shot on here, no weight in the worm itself. Now, if you're fishing deeper water, that's probably not gonna work, but if you're in a shallow lake like this one, I'm generally fishing this anywhere from, a foot of water to 5 or even 6 feet of water. But weightless just gives a nice presentation, very slow, very subtle. You don't have any weight hitting the water, disturbing it. And again, if you're in shallower water, just you know, a foot, maybe up to 5 feet of water, it'll take a second for that thing to just slowly drift down, but it really does well. If you're fishing a little bit of deeper water, there's certainly different ways to rig, but a weightless Wacky Rig is there we go, fish. Oh, missed that one. Wow. Not doing great on the hookup ratio here. I definitely didn't sting that one though. I know the hook didn't get him, so I'm gonna go right back there and see if he'll pick it up again. It was a little too quick, I think, on the hook set with that one. A little too antsy. That's a fish. There we go. He was coming straight at me. I wasn't sure if it was a fish or not. Oh, look at that. That's why it was a little weird. Another rock bass. That was an example. I didn't feel the tap at all. I did not feel him bite, but I could just see my line. I couldn't really feel the weight of the senko, and I could see my line was actually moving towards me. So, little rock bass. Get him back in there. Let's get back out there. That's fish number 6 this morning. Lots of different hooks you can use for wacky rigging. I've got a couple favorites. One absolute favorite, and that is this one right here. This is the VMC Wacky. It's got a resin closed eye, extra wide gap. I really like the 2/0 size, and they're super inexpensive. So you get a 6-pack for less than $3. It's got a nice wide gap. They're super sharp, and again, inexpensive. This is my absolute favorite. I do also use a Gamakatsu octopus hook in a pinch if I don't have this VMC. Again, the 2/0 size is what I really like. I think it's just big enough to accommodate a 5-inch senko well, and still have a big enough hook gap that the point of that hook is very well exposed to make good hook sets. So again, my first choice is the VMC Wacky in a 2/0 size. Second would be Gamakatsu octopus hook, 2/0 size. But either one of these, you really can't go wrong. All right, it's 7:30. We're gonna try to get 4 more fish before 8 o'clock, and we're gonna have to wrap up here. There we go, got him. There's number 6, and again, he hit that within 2 seconds. Flipper. That's a healthy one. Right in the top of the mouth. Nice average 1.5 pound, 16-inch fish. Nice and healthy. And finally, I guess we should talk about the senkos themselves. I really like the 5-inch Yum Dinger. Again, this is a good, inexpensive option. You can pick up a bag of these, a bag of 8 for $3 or less. Certainly a ton of other brands of senko worms out there. You've got the Gary Yamamoto's, Yum Dingers that I like. Again, a ton of different brands. Everybody makes a senko. But again, the Yum Dinger is really one that I like, just primarily because it's inexpensive, it's durable, and I catch a ton of fish on it. Come on, girlfriend. Oh, oh, that was funny. I was just ready to give up on that cast. And there you go. Oh, look at that. Fun. It's probably just small enough to flip. Oh, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that's actually the nicest one of the day. Right around 2 pounds. Easy on hook. There we go. It's a healthier fish. probably pushing 17 inches. Right around 2 pounds, I would say. But that was fun. I honestly did not deserve that one. I had given up on that cast. Talk about colors for just a second. Earlier this morning, I was throwing a pumpkin, which is a green, and now I've switched over to this purple and blue fleck, which is called the June bug, or Yum calls it a June bug. Honestly, color, from my experience, doesn't matter a whole lot. I do like, generally speaking, to stick with the greens and maybe a purple or even a black I'll fish sometimes. Personally, I don't really like the super bright, vibrant, you know, a chartreuse or orange or even white. Not saying that those wouldn't be effective and couldn't be effective, but I like the little more subtle colors. Again, purple, green, black, kind of darker is generally my go-to. So June bug just fooled that one. So let's see if we can fool a few more here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Half a turn on the reel. Again, rod tip up. You want to feel that senko. Feel the weight of it as you jiggle it. And then just a pause, jiggle, jiggle, reel. And wait to feel that tap and keep your eyes peeled on that line. There we go. Wait and set. Number 8. That's probably the smallest one of the day. Maybe not. The exact average. Right around a pound. 13, 14 inches. Healthy fish. See you, buddy. All right, we need 2 more now to hit our goal of 10. That's a fish. Got him. Oh, pike. Bit me off. Doggone it. Bit me clean off. So that's the second pike this morning that has bit me off. The downside of running that fluoro leader. But again, I think the trade-off is worth it. It's just the nature of the beast. It's gonna happen. If you're in pike-infested waters, you're gonna lose some hooks and worms to the pike. We're still looking for 2 more fish. Looking for 2 more to get to a even 10. There we go. And there's one of them. One of the smaller bass of the day, but that's a fish. All right, at 12 inches, definitely well under a pound. Couldn't resist the wacky. Oh, come on, buddy. Chillax. There we go. All right. Just a little guy. Get him back. See you, buddy. All right, I believe that was number 9. We'll see what time it is. Maybe we'll go for a dozen. What a fun morning, though. Absolutely gorgeous out here. That's a fish. There we go. Another rocky. Oh, nope. Small bass. That is by far the smallest of the day, but it is number 10. 10-incher for number 10. There we go, little guy. back you go. All right, we're going for a dozen. We got a little bit of time left, so we're gonna go for a dozen. Would love to hook into a little bit better one. Yeah. Does he have it? Yep. That was cool. See, that was just like a topwater bite. Right up there in 6 inches of water. I had the worm right on the surface, and this guy came and smoked it right at the surface. That's cool. All right, number 11 for the morning. Ready to pound, 14, maybe 15 inches. See you, buddy. You probably can't see him, but there's some epic bluegill beds out there. And this guy was just right up here in probably 8 to 10 inches of water, right underneath those lilies. That was a cool bite. Look at that milfoil. Great cover for bass. They'll use that to ambush the little tiny bluegills in here all day long. Look at that. There's just a pile of 2-inch bluegills there. And that is absolutely what the bass are feeding on. But when they see that senko coming, they cannot resist. There's one. Number 12. That's a little, wait, is that a smallie? This is my first smallmouth of the year. No way, it's a smallmouth. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There are not many smallmouth at all in this lake. Oh, this is a good one. How cool is that? I typically only catch 2 or maybe 3 smallmouth a year in this lake. And there's one right there on the Wacky Rig. It's a healthy fish too. Get the net. Yeah! Oh, that is a healthy smallie. Look at that. Absolute tank. Look at that fish. Right up there. We're gonna have to get a measurement on that guy. Look at that fish, guys. Just a tank of a smallie. He's probably right around 3 pounds, maybe a little bit over 3 pounds. Let's get this girl unhooked. I was wondering when the first smallie of the year would come. And there it is. Look at that. Beautiful fish. So I like to keep this little live well here. So when I catch a nice fish like that, and I want to do pictures and whatnot, I need to get that one measured. I can keep it nice and healthy there. Well, that was super cool. Was not expecting to get that smallie this morning. That was fish number 13, I believe. So we're gonna get one more, I think, because I'm a little bit greedy. I'm gonna go sharpshoot some of these milfoil patches since I said I was gonna do that. So maybe we'll pick up 1 or 2 more fish and then we'll call it a morning. I am getting hungry, but that just absolutely made my morning to catch that smallmouth. Last year, all of last year, I caught 3 smallmouth, and who knows, probably a couple hundred bass. So the ratio of smallmouth to largemouth in this particular lake is very drastic. All right, so I'm just looking up here. Again, all you see is just what looks like a little patch of mud or disturbance on the surface. There's a big patch of milfoil underneath that. And so I'm just gonna cast next to it. These things absolutely hold fish. So we're fishing structure, just not lily pads. There we go. Got him. Right on that patch of milfoil. This feels like a little better fish. Oh, not really, just feisty. There we go. Classic. Classic 15-incher. Number 14, I believe. See you, buddy. Let's see if we can get a couple more. It's just hard to stop when the fishing is this good. Hard to stop. Oh! There's a pike chasing it in on the retrieve. That was cool. There we go. All right, last one. Ah, there we go, guys. That is going to be it. What an absolute blast of a morning out here. That is what the Wacky Rig can do. If you're not familiar with it, if you've never tried it before, I highly encourage you, get some of those VMC or Gamakatsu hooks, grab a bag of yum dingers, and I tell you what, it will produce numbers of good fish and you will have an absolute blast. Easy presentation, not too complex, nothing too technical about it. But when you get it dialed in, you will absolutely put a lot of fish in the boat. So that being said, thank you so much for following along. For those of you that have been subscribed for a super long time, thank you for bearing with me through all of the Cornwall stuff. I've been very passionate about that and really focused on it. And we're making good progress there, and hopefully we'll be producing some more fishing content like this through the summer. We'll get Zach back out here as well. So thank you so much again for all of the support. Thanks for subscribing, watching, sharing. We will catch you guys next time. Take care. See you, girl.